Sunday. The forecast actually tells us of strong rains till tornadoes. We're like in the...
Du hast doch schon 3 Videos von hier gemacht.
More than 3, I guess. The forecast tells us that there's strong rain and possible tornadoes incoming, but we're like in the border region of the danger zone. So hopefully it won't be too bad here later today. Maybe then to the Barfoot train. Nice. See.
Sind wir von unten oder oben bekommen? Von oben. Oh. Nein.
So it's a little bit rainy, but the thunderstorms will hit later. Can you see all the ants there? And the forest ants are a little bit more ferocious. And now we get them. So here's their home. And the trail has been redirected, so because they're actually under nature, under protection. Forest ants. It's quite a highway, super highway down there. It's actually quite interesting how they're following the descent trail. A couple are up here, but majority is down there. Yeah. There's probably actually a little bit less now here. Not that they built the detour there. Yeah, I made a dedicated video for here. Somebody lost a cherry there. I can't quite recall the last time we had been here. Someone last year probably. Yeah, okay. Like for Sunday after work activity. What's the bot? The nicest thing.
Batman.
Man bed. Boy bed.
Umstieg zur S7 Richtung Wolfratshausen sowie zu den Regionalzügen Richtung Bayerischzell, Linkwies und Tegernsee.
Next stop, Donnersberger Brücke. Change here for the S7 to Wolfratshausen, as well as for regional services to Bayerischzell, Linkwies and Tegernsee.
Bitte rechts aussteigen.
Please exit the train on the right.
With the construction here. So we're off to Amsterdam. One nice thing about Europe, almost everything is like a day's travel away, more or less. With your car, yeah. Like Portugal is maybe 20 hours to drive or something. So after crossing the Red Hair Mountains and the Paderborn area, now we are in the North Rhine-Westphalian plains, and it's actually like there's no more hills till the Netherlands, or no real mountains of any kind. So. And that's one of the main reasons we have so many tourists from Holland in our region, because it's like the first real medium-sized mountains from the Netherlands. So it's like the Harz, the Rothaar Mountain, the Red Hair Mountains, whatever they are translated to English, but in German it's Rothaargebirge, and our mountains at home. The Kaufland forest and such. those are the Knöll. Those are the first real mountains when you're driving from Holland anywhere. So, yeah. So that's one of the main reasons we have many Dutch tourists, like especially like Winterberg, where we had on my daughter's fourth birthday, like 2 years ago. Was it the third? I'm not quite sure. Something different because yeah, was the Corona already? I think that was right before the lockdowns. Yeah, January 2020. Yeah. So. And that's a region where we have very much Dutch tourism because people come here to see the mountains. So we're doing a quick pit stop here by the Autobahn in the Ruhr Valley, which we are now in. Here between Dortmund and Oberhausen. Yeah, like we're grazing by the Ruhr Valley or the Ruhr region, which used to be the industrial heartland of Germany, and like much coal mining, steel plants, all that heavy industry used to be in that region here, around the Ruhr River. That's the reason it's called the Ruhr region or Ruhr Valley. And like big cities here are Düsseldorf, Dortmund, Köln, or Cologne, Cologne. It's spelled till Koblenz or till Aachen, so the Oberhausen, all those places. So it's like 2 hours to Amsterdam. Right in the center, I guess.
Wenn du hier guckst, das wäre nett von dir, bitte.
Same, some business meetings while the family is exploring the city. Okay, just take a look outside of the windows here. We have like the channel running around and party boats going on and such. Yeah, quite interesting.
Dan is het een Passierpolitik Fundierung. Es ist gebaut worden auf Holzpfähle. Und wenn da Luft beikommt, dann geht es rotten. So, die stehen unter Wasserniveau, die Holzpfähle. Und dann neigt ein Haus nach links oder nach rechts. Aber hier Fische, andere Sachen. Und so ist es eigentlich entworfen bei den Künstlern. Es heißt die Börse, weil es ist gelegen an die Börse Platz. Und früher war es eine dunkle Gasse.
Eigentlich ist es sehr einfach. Amsterdam, das bedeutet ein Damm gebaut, die wir abfahren.
Und Amsterdam, das ist noch immer ein Fluss in Amsterdam, die Hauptfluss. Und die Zahl zählt uns.
In welcher Klasse bist du?
Mit einer anderen Familie. Und hier oben war. Müssen Sie zurückkommen? Ja. Wirklich wunderschön.
Domingo a gente vai para quem? Essa aqui é no museu.
Das ist der Sea Palace. Das ist the famous Chinese restaurant here.
Aber die Flächen habt ihr auch das geraten?
So, yeah, official event is over, Saturday. We're here in the parking center, I think Amsterdam or something. And that seems to be the cheapest option in the city, like 37 euros, 50 for a day. Which, it's obscenely expensive, but everywhere else it costs like 55 to 60 euros. So that's the cheapest option, and like in contrast, that makes it almost favorable. Like in the hotel, it would have been 60 euros. So, yeah. We are going for a boat tour. I think I'll put this week's video all together, or like make it a little bit longer, maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure yet. It's not quite not really efficient, but not quite sure if I'll have the time to edit tomorrow. Yeah, something to be decided later on. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. Nice weather. It's like not too cold, not too warm. Absolutely perfect. Yeah. Some houses around, right? So my daughter wants to take a boat tour. Probably the next thing to do. Yeah. So the houses are a little bit leaning forward to avoid the rain, and then they have like some sinking into the water, which can like make it a little bit more. Yeah. Oh yeah, I finally understand why it's called Dutch angles in cinema. Yeah, now I get it. Be that long. Oh, it's at least one explanation. I could. It would be very natural to assume that that's the reason. Yeah, and like that, the houses look all normal. Yeah, strange. There's some cats around. Check this out, one. Seen. Same place as yesterday. Royal Palace. Royal Post Office. Madame Tussauds. It's like here where it's a half place of the city, right? Yeah. Well, it's quite fitting to put the palace here, right? Like the regional dam. Where they put a dam around the river Amstel, whatever. Like 700 years ago, so quite youngish for Europe. I think the whole Madame Tussauds is really a thing from the Victorian age, when like photography was barely existent and no movies whatsoever. So yeah, that must have been quite an interesting thing, like in the 19th century, to be able to see a famous person done that way. So yeah, I think today it's not as interesting comparatively. You can just watch a movie, see them maybe even more lifelike, right? So let's see if I can find my family here. This is the wrong store. No. I think this is the wrong store. Now I see it.
Ich habe das Computer ausgesetzt, weil es schließt sich die Text. Ja. Hier.
Ja, hast du dein Handy dabei? Yeah, it's the ocean. North Sea. Yeah. See, by the beach. And the parking space. And let's go down there. So it's very windy. Young ships. You wonder what that monstrosity there is. I even get it on the viewfinder. I think never had a guy. Yeah, super windy, super windy. I wonder where my family left off. Apparently you can like rent small house here. Maybe it's like the holiday conceal of very rich and affluent people of Amsterdam or something. No idea. There's another one maybe. Like an offshore development construction. So many shells around here. Look at it. Water is really cold. Had something stuck in my throat earlier. Thinking I was going crazy, but yeah. Hey Bobby! Here's auch eine Mutter. Ja. Müssen wir aufpassen, ne? Hier ist eine kleine Sandbank. Great presses the water from the surface. Maybe like around the case knife. The wind has come down a little bit, I guess. Not too much. And for another beach. A little bit up north. Still some ships on the horizon. But let's see, maybe that's a little bit north. Oh, there's some offshore wind power plants at the horizon there. I think that's the construction thing we had saw from the other beach. That's all the way. What's up, right? There it is. I think that's the one we saw from the other side. Yeah, probably. So this is like Bergen am See. What's the name here? Yeah. Probably a little bit more chic because it's like a and here you can do some beach horse riding. So this is like the final dike, and on the left side is the sea, on the right side is the lake, which used to be the sea till they built this thing here, which disconnects the sea from the sea. We cannot drive like 30 kilometers on this dike. There should be a rest stop in the middle where we will take a stop and maybe see the sun rise in the sea. See, yeah, cannot see the other side because they have the dike there so that the waves don't destroy the highway here. So there's the sun. There's the moon, which is quite fitting, but we don't see any real observation point here where we can easily readily go. It was like a visitor center, but it looked closed to, or is closed due to doing extensive construction. So, the whole road was full of cranes and tractors and stuff. Probably the thing's probably closed, but let's take a peek. So, yeah. And the whole time I'm thinking about like when that talks about like terraforming, and here we got a real life example of that going on. Like the whole island here is probably maybe 100% artificial, huh? So that's quite interesting. So really dense mosquito swarm right here. It's really hard to get on camera. Yeah. Sweden is calling. It wants its mosquitoes back. Just from watching. Oh, I could do some training here. So. So it's a mud flat sea here, which is like out here, I guess. So here we can see it. There's the sea and here's the lake. ex-sea, now artificially created lake. On the dike we have the motorway, the Autobahn, Autobahn, however it's called. And that sea is so enormous. You can see the shore there, but over there it goes way beyond the horizons. And I think there's like a couple of islands, which is why this is part of the Rotten Sea. So it's like a very shallow sea here, and on the tide, the water resides in the night sometimes, or whenever. I have to look into the tide cycles. I think this has to be somewhat cyclical with the wind, so not quite regular, right? The water goes away, and then you can basically walk from here to the islands probably. If you're unlucky, or too slow, then yeah, you're not as fast, but the water can surprise you, which is quite dangerous. So, yeah, but it's like on this side it's sweet water, and here it's sea water. So, and like the tour guide told us that like if the water level like in Amsterdam rises too high, then they have to wait with the tide cycle, and then they can open up the gates here, which are here and on the other end, I think, as far as I saw. Yeah. That's not quite as nice a beach as we had before. And the setting sun. So many mosquitoes here. Yeah. It's like the different regions in the world which have to struggle with the rising sea level. Ah, okay. Yeah, so they broaden the base of the dike, rise it a little bit, and reinforce it to protect from future sea level rises. Just given that like the majority of the Netherlands is like 40 centimeters below sea level already. Probably a wise decision. Yeah, that goes back to the whole topic of this is after us the deluge. It's like it's very funny because being a native German speaker, reading Dutch is quite it's working. Yeah, you can really read it. Not everything, but like usually you have to twist your brain a little bit, and then you'll get it. Yeah, I think that's like it's like a little bit of a mixed bag here. I really enjoyed the not so car-centric road and infrastructure. So being more bicycle oriented, and like in Germany the holy cow which never can be slaughtered is like the car, of course, and it's like there's much. Last election there was much discussion about setting a maximum speed limit on the autobahn, on the highways. It was like a huge thing, especially for the liberal party, so to say. European and American political terminology is not even close to be somehow just like it's so far apart from what it's really not. You cannot really talk about German politics or European politics in terms which are understandable to Americans, and vice versa. I think it's very hard to understand for many Europeans what's going on in the US of A. I think politics are generally a little bit complicated, and it's not even living there. It's always easy to get all the details right. So let's see if we can make it to home and somewhat this night. So we murdered basically every mosquito from here till the Netherlands or something. Yeah, gasoline is actually more expensive here than in the Netherlands. So never happened in Germany, but I hope we have enough to get home now. Barely, yeah. Hopefully it's cheaper there than. I should have checked before I filled it. Oh, okay. Put 25 liters in, 10 in Netherlands, 15 here. That should be enough to get home.